What's going on, guys? So bullish day in the market today, Tuesday, June 27th. We saw the buyers step in at support. Let me move this over to SPY to start it off. Yeah, so as we mentioned yesterday, we were approaching critical support around the 20 simple moving average. Um, this could have been potentially the new higher low, as we have been in a bull trend for quite a while now, and we continue to make higher lows. uh, which is what defines a bull trend. Some things to note, this could eventually possibly be a lower high if we reject, any of these areas, either the gap fill at 439 or in this case, bearish scenario price target at 441. If we were to reject that, it would be important to note that we are forming a lower high and we could start to see a trend reversal. Some things to keep in mind after hours. Wall Street Journal reported that the US is considering a new curve on AI chips being exported to China, um, which brought chip stocks down after hours, kind of brought the SPY down with it if you look at the daily. Um, but whoops. Yeah, so market came down a little bit after hours. Sorry, this chart is messy. This one will look a little better. Um, yeah, so SPY came down after hours, but it's looking like it's trying to bounce back. I honestly think this is just FUD. The reason being is that the news weren't even confirmed by the government. And even if it's true, chip makers like NVIDIA, AMD, and so forth, they have over a year in back orders from clients within the United States. So this wouldn't even take effect for a while, even if they were to enact it. But then again, um, you know, check your biases, check your news sources biases. Wall Street Journal has been pretty bearish on NVIDIA for quite a while now, and you know how NVIDIA has been doing. Things to note for tomorrow: Powell is speaking in the morning, followed by MU earnings. MU is a chip stock as well, so look for their guidance. If they guide up, that could be bullish for the overall market and for the chip sector especially, um, and vice versa. If they guide down, that could be bad for the market or for chip stocks. Moving on to SPY. So we opened and held above 432, and we saw a trend day, intraday rally from the morning all the way up to around 436, where we saw some resistance. All right, this chart looks horrible on the daily. Here we go. So yeah, we ran up to 435, saw some resistance here, broke above, and then we ran up and kind of traded sideways at Friday's highs, which was 436.5. We slightly broke, but failed to close above it. However, we did close above 436. So look to see if we hold above that tomorrow. Um, Below that, look for 435. So my price targets to the upside for tomorrow are going to be SPY 436.8, which was today's highs. If that breaks, look for a push up to the gap fill at 438.97. Above that, we have our bearish price target, like I mentioned, which would be the lower high at 441. Then the bullish breakout would be above 444, as we would be putting in a new higher high that could potentially take us up to 448 or our price target at 451. So watch for that. Not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but it's important to note the day-by-day activity. To the downside, we have support at 435, which is the 5 EMA, the screen line right here. So look for support at 435. If that doesn't hold, we could be coming down to 431.5, which was yesterday's lows, which is also August's highs. I think that's a really important thing to know. To note, previous resistances become supports down the line. So yeah, look for support at 431.5, 445, 431.5, critical support at 430. And then if we start to break below 430, we have the support trend line that has moved up now to around 427. And then the gap filled down here at 423. Moving on to the QQQ. So same thing, we bounced off the 20 EMA and was able to close above the 5 EMA. However, we did fail to break above the resistance we've been running into the past couple of days at 365. So look for a break above that tomorrow. If we break above 365, look for a move up to around 369. Our price target at 371, and then 374, which would be the new higher high as well. This will take time as well, like I mentioned on SPY. The Bollinger Bands are starting to squeeze a little bit. Something to keep in mind. To the downside, look for support at 362.5, which is the 5 EMA. Let's keep in mind. And then 359. Yeah, today's lows, 20 SMA, and then critical support down here at 355. And then below that, we can start to make our way a little lower to 438. Below this, we would start to be putting in lower lows, which would be a bad look. Could be a trend reversal. The markets could start to be going back into a bear trend. But these are just things to keep in mind down the line if we do start to move that way. The VIX started to come down today, rejected the 20 EMA. Or the 20 SMA, sorry. Remember, the VIX is the fear and volatility index. So when this goes down, it means there's less fear in the market. When it goes up, it means there's more. So to the upside, continue to look for resistance at 15. This downtrending 20 SMA. So above that 15, 18, and then 20. As long as the VIX is below 20, we're probably going to continue to be in a bull market. Moving on to Apple. New closing all-time high, closed above yesterday's high of the day, broke above 188. So look for a hold above 188. If we break today's highs at 188.39, look for a push up to our price target at 189.75 to 190. So yeah, upside resistance is going to be today's highs at 188.39, and then our price target at 189.75. To the downside, look for support at 186, which is the 5 EMA, the 20 SMA, which is at 182.5, and then below that would be the lower low down here at 177.32, and then the gap fill around 116 right here. Moving on to Tesla. Bounced off or held above yesterday's lows. Still haven't made our way down to fill this gap. We could very easily bounce off of this, or we could come back down to fill this gap now. So closed above 250. If 250 holds tomorrow, look for more upside with price targets at 253, which is the 5 EMA, 265, and then 277, which would be a higher high. To the downside, look for support at 248, 240, which was kind of yesterday and today's low, and then the gap fill down here at 235.25. Stock of the day today was AVGO. Made some nice plays on that today, couple 100% plus returns. So look, we held above 820, which was kind of this week's low, and then we were able to bounce and have a nice rally up to 850. We closed a little bit under that, and then are down after hours since it kind of got dragged down by the news of Wall Street Journal. But if we're able to hold above 840 and then can break back above 850, which was today's highs, look for a move up to 868, and then my price target, which is at $900. To the downside, look for support at 840, which is the 5 EMA, 830, which is the 20 simple moving average, and then critical support, as I mentioned, at 820. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Get ready for the market tomorrow. We'll see how MU reports. If they guide up, that could lead a rally into tech and most importantly chips for Thursday and Friday. So get ready and let's make some money.